You know, a lot of the information that we get is saying that people cannot leave North Korea willingly. Is it that there's not enough money per family for them to just travel? Have you been to Pyongyang yourself? Goodness.
Yep. So it's that strict. It's the second amazing question you've asked.
Is it true that people can go into your home at any point of any time of day?
They have been trained months on end to say specific things, do certain things.
So I know that people have probably asked you before, but how did you get out? Was it through China, the demilitarized zone, or?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I skipped North Korea twice.
Okay.
Both times, I went into China.
Okay.
So I crossed the Yala River, and not a lot of people actually can escape through the DMZ.
Yep.
Because that's like the world's most heavily fortified,
Gotcha.
like militarized zone in the world, right? So miles and miles of landmines. But actually, one guy did escape through the DMZ. And I'm sure you've seen.
I've seen the video of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another question was, you know, a lot of the information that we get is saying that people cannot leave North Korea willingly. So are there people that can get visas to go through, like, because I know that they have, is it in Pyongyang where they have the airport? So like, I'm assuming people can go to Russia or China, or is it just because of sanctions from the United States and other countries in the Western world that don't allow people to travel? Or is it a strict, no one can leave North Korea? Or is it that there's not enough money per family for them to just travel?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. So there is an airport, yes, that's right. And that airport is specifically used for tourists coming into North Korea from different countries, and that's my educated guess.
Gotcha.
And second, people leaving from North Korea, yes, you can get a visa to travel to China and Russia and different parts of the country, but you have to be a diplomat in North Korea or diplomat's descendants or some sort of like the elites like descendant.
So social status does play a factor in your ability to leave.
Exactly, yes. And North Korea is a caste system, and the first, like on the very far top, the 1%, right?
Yeah.
They can travel, yeah. But the middle and then the lower, you're not allowed to leave North Korea. And not just North Korea, even within the North Korea, there is no freedom of movement.
So you can't just go to Pyongyang on the weekend with your family. You can't travel there. And I've, you know, you see a lot of things where people are walking the streets of Pyongyang, where they have people who are allowed to come. I can't remember if they still allowed. I know that like in 2019 or 2020, people were able to visit, like from England, I believe. And there are people walking around, and you see stores that look like there's people not buying anything but just walking around.
Standing.
Is that? And I know that's a hard thing to know about in a system where you're not readily available to find information. But is that true that people are just walking around with not anything to do, or have you been to Pyongyang yourself?
That's the second amazing question you've asked. So I've been to Pyongyang once, like when I was really, really young.
Gotcha.
So I probably wouldn't remember anything. And yes, it is. I just want to mention that people who are traveling to North Korea and filming those, right? So the best way that I can actually explain is, have you ever seen a movie called Truman Show?
The Truman Show, yes.
So
I've seen the Truman
I
Show.
think of like the tourists as a Truman, right? The Jim Carrey, and people who are participating in, like in the background. Those are North Korean people, right? They have been trained months on end to say specific things, do certain things,
and communicate with tourists, I'm assuming.
Communicate with tourists. They encourage that,
they
right?
Do? Okay.
They encourage communicate with tourists because they're trained and they have a specific thing that they're supposed to say, right? And the store, going back to the store idea, like North Korea. So a lot of it, like whenever like you're driving by and seeing a grocery store and there's a lot of display of like fancy things, that's all fake.
Yeah,
those are all fake. And people who go into the store and filming and people not buying anything because they can't. They don't have money to do so. And they're placed there to actually just walk around. That's their job to do so, right? It's not just Pyongyang, but it's in certain capital cities in parts of North Korea that have this kind of displays of like fake things in the store, because whenever the tourist like drives by, they have to see that, right? So yeah.
And is it true that at any point of any time of day that people can go into your home to look for anything, make sure that the Kim Jong-il, correct? Kim Jong-il, and is it Kim Jong-il and Kim Jong-un that their pictures must be readily apparent in the
That's
living
right.
room?
That's right.
And
That's
there
right.
must be no scratches, no chips of paint.
That's right.
Nothing wrong with the borders.
That's right.
And if
Yep.
there is, consequences could follow.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So the secret police,
Secret
they
police.
come into your house with a white glove, right?
Gotcha.
And then not just like the visible kind of like no damage, no fly poops,
Yeah, yeah.
and nothing like that. But also on top of that, they wear white gloves and they come in and they wipe the surface on the top of the frame.
make sure there's no
And if it's
dust.
dusty,
Okay.
6 months of jail time for you. Yeah.
Goodness.
Yep. Yep. So it's that strict.
Okay. I'm just trying to think of anything else because it's not every day you get to meet somebody from
Well, I mean, if you have any questions, feel free to like DM me or Instagram. Like if you comment on my videos, like I'll always, try to like comment back. Like whatever questions you have.
I have
please
one last
ask.
question for you. I don't want
Go
to take
for
up
it.
too much of
No,
your
no,
time.
no,
What was the greatest or biggest, in a sense, culture shock after leaving North Korea, whether it be from the Western world or just going to China? If there was something that stood out to you that wasn't, readily apparently learned or taught in North Korea, in terms of like culture, medicine, entertainment.
Yeah, yeah,
Was
yeah.
there anything that stood out to you that you were surprised about, or
Yeah,
was it
yeah.
a young age where you were just, it wasn't as much of a culture shock to you?
I think the best way that I can describe is that getting into time machine and fast forwarding 70 years into the future.
Wow. Okay.
Like I know it doesn't make much sense to you, but like for me, I come from a place where there is no technology,
Yep.
no electricity,
Yep.
no 24-hour running hot or cold water, right? And there is no social media.
Gotcha.
Like, yes, like I did have like, I did see friends playing like a Nintendo, like Super Nintendo on a black and
Yeah.
white TV out of a car battery.
Gotcha.
But that's like as far as I've seen, right? And coming to China, where there's like PC cafes, right?
Yeah.
And there's arcade rooms, like lights everywhere, 24-hour running water, electricity. It's like, it's just mind blowing,
Yeah.
right? And I still find myself just like amazed by everything, around me. Just like, yeah, it just,
Well, Charles, I appreciate you taking answering my questions. Thank you so
no
much.
problem. Please
Wish
do
you
check
the
out my,
best. I
thank
will
you so much.
definitely do that.
Yeah, all right,
Take care.
amazing.